For a long time, if you wanted the best performance on Android, there was one clear answer: Snapdragon. Especially for graphics and gaming, Qualcomm was always ahead. Exynos? Yeah, it usually came second, sometimes far second. But today, something interesting happened. Samsung's Exynos 2600 just showed up in benchmarks, and surprise, it's basically matching the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 in Vulkan graphics performance. Not close enough, not almost. I mean almost the same number. And that's a big deal. Let me break this down in a very simple way. In the Geekbench 6 Vulkan test, which mainly checks GPU power, Exynos 2600 scored 27,478 points. Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 scored 27,875 points. That gap is around 1.4%. In real life, you will not feel this difference. Games, 3D apps, heavy graphics, they'll run almost the same. This is huge because older Exynos chips were usually way behind Snapdragon, especially for gaming. This time, Samsung didn't just catch up, they pulled up right next to Qualcomm. Same speed, same lane, no excuses. But here's the part that surprised me even more. It's not just fast, it's stable. When you look at multiple benchmark runs, the Exynos 2600 stays very consistent. The difference between its lowest and highest scores is only about 3.4%. That means less performance drops, less random slowdowns, better long gaming sessions. Snapdragon, in comparison, showed a bigger spread in results. So Samsung didn't just chase big numbers, they focused on keeping the performance steady, not just fast for 30 seconds. And for gamers, that matters a lot. Now here's a wild comparison that turned heads. A Galaxy S26 Plus with Exynos 2600 actually beat a Galaxy Book 4 Edge powered by Snapdragon X Elite in the OpenCL GPU test. Yes, a phone beating a laptop chip in graphics. Now, calm down, phones and laptops are different, cooling is different, power limits are different, but still, that tells you how strong this new Exynos GPU really is. This is not mid-range energy, this is serious graphics power. So how did Samsung pull this off? Two big reasons. First, 2nm GAA manufacturing. The Exynos 2600 is Samsung's first 2nm chip using GAA, which means gate all around. Simple version, the transistor is wrapped better, power control is tighter, less wasted energy, better efficiency. Think of it like this. Instead of holding water with loose fingers, Samsung is now using a full grip. Result? Lower power use, less heat, better performance over time. This is a big step forward for Samsung's chip factories. Second, AMD graphics inside. The GPU here is called Xclipse 960, and it's based on AMD RDNA 4. Yes, the same AMD DNA used in PCs and consoles. Samsung worked closely with AMD to tune this GPU for phones, and this really helps with Vulkan, which modern games love. What does this mean for you? Better shaders, faster effects, more console-like visuals, smoother modern games. Mobile games are getting more advanced every year, and this GPU is clearly built for that future. But performance means nothing if the phone turns into a toaster. Samsung knows this, so they added new cooling tricks. They're using FOWLP packaging, basically better chip layout, and a new heat pass block, or HPB. HPB is a copper heat plate connected directly to the chip. Samsung says this reduces heat resistance by 16%. Simple translation, heat escapes faster, less throttling, more stable FPS, better long gaming sessions. So instead of the chip screaming, "I'm hot," and slowing down, it stays calm and steady. Put all of this together and you get something we honestly didn't expect. An Exynos chip that matches Snapdragon in GPU power, stays stable under load, uses advanced 2nm tech, has AMD-level graphics, and finally fixes heat issues. This is not the old Exynos story. This feels like Samsung saying, okay, we're done being second. Now, let's be real for a second. Benchmarks are not everything. Real-world gaming tests still matter. Battery life matters, game optimization matters, but this is the first time in years where Exynos is not starting from behind. For Samsung fans, this is exciting. For gamers, this is interesting. And for Qualcomm, yeah, they're definitely paying attention. If Samsung keeps this up, the Snapdragon monopoly at the top might finally be over. And that would be good for everyone.